Kotoka Airport to Pram Pram, 1 hour. To Abri, 50 minutes. To Akusi, 1 hour, 50 minutes. All of these destinations are completely commutable into Accra. So today, we're going to talk about why Ghana does not have to be Accra alone.
Hi guys, welcome back. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about Ghana specifically and why Ghana is not Accra. Okay, I know for a lot of people when you think about Ghana, immediately you think of Accra, and that is because Accra is the city, is the capital, and so a lot of things happen here. You know, most people, if they're going to work, they work in Accra. You know, if you're going out, it's going to happen in Accra. For me personally, okay, Accra, there is no definitive line to say this is Accra, this is not Accra, this is Accra, this is not Accra. Because if you go around and you ask people, oh, you know, what towns kind of constitute Accra, a lot of people will not be able to tell you. Some people will include a certain area, some people will not include another area, okay? So you have Central Accra, and then you have Greater Accra. Now within Greater Accra, that's where the line is like really, really blurred. Okay, now the reason I'm deciding to talk about this topic today is simply because we've been talking about property, and a lot of the comments have been like, why do people always feel the need to be in Accra? Accra is overpriced, it's overhyped, and all the rest of it. And yes, it's true, it's very, very true. I can't deny any of that. It is very, very overpriced, it's very expensive. But at the moment, that is what Accra demands, and that is what Accra wants. So there's nothing much that we can do about this. But the reason I want to talk about this is because I feel like there are areas which are not necessarily far out. So they're not far deep into Ghana where you can say, oh my gosh, I have to go and live. If I don't want to be in Accra, that means I have to live in like Tamale, I have to live in Takoradi, I have to live in Keta, I have to live in wherever else, you know, like you don't have to go as far as that. You can still comfortably commute into Accra. You know, you might have an hour's journey to get into Central Accra, but you're still living far out enough that perhaps the cost of housing can be a little bit cheaper for you, okay? But I don't want you guys to feel like, you know, if you're not in Accra, then you almost like you're not in Ghana, you know. It's not true, okay? The more people that come here, and with different varying ranges of salaries and, you know, what people can afford, people are going to start going further and further out. So right now, Accra is very much concentrated because everybody's trying to be in Accra because it seems to be like the hub of where everything is. But, you know, the more people that keep coming, it's going to start expanding and people will start going further out to other areas. Like right now, I'm seeing that a lot of people are going to say like Abri, or they're going to Oyarafa, they're going to Oyibi, you know, and it will trust me, these things move very, very fast. I've seen it for myself. Like things move very fast. So there's like almost like a ripple effect. So as Accra gets too busy and too choked, people start to go more to the outskirts. And what people don't mind doing is traveling in at a distance. I mean, traffic can be a bit crazy, but for the most part, most people can easily commute into Accra if they need to. And especially if you're a person that works from home or you have your own business, you know, you don't need to necessarily be inside Central Accra at, you know, 8 o'clock a.m. or whatever it is. You know, you have time to do what you need to do. You can come kind of like travel in when things are a lot calmer for you traffic-wise. So I think you need to kind of explore other places just outside of Central Accra. And honestly speaking, the last video that I did where I spoke about house prices, I saw a couple of comments on there where people said that, you know, they felt really discouraged by the video, and you know, they're just going to stay put, they're just going to stay in America or UK, wherever they are, because of what they've heard. What I don't want is, I don't want you guys to be put off, because trust me, you can actually get properties that are cheaper. I mean, one of the early property tours that I did some time ago, I went to a place in Kaswa, which I would say, how long did it take me to get there? Probably from where I am, probably about an hour and a half, I would say. So, it was a little bit out, but The properties at the time were going for like $25,000. You know, it was a fairly decent estate. Again, people had their comments on that estate, okay? So when I showed that estate, people were like, oh, but there's damp on the walls, there's this, there's that. You know, people complained. But you have to remember, if you want to buy a house for $25,000, you are not going to get everything that you want. There is going to be some work that you're going to have to put in yourself, okay? So if you see that, oh, there's damp on the walls, then perhaps you're the one that's going to have to solve that on your own house. You know, you're not going to have everything for the exact price that you want, okay? So you have to compromise. So there was Blue Rose. Then I did another house. I've seen other properties which were a bit more reasonable. I did some in North Legon, I believe it was. I'm trying to remember. North Legon, I think. And those ones were going for, I think one was $210 and one was $175,000. I can't remember if those are still available. But again, that was very close to being, in fact, I guess you could say that was kind of like central Accra. It's not too far out. But that was really, really cost effective, I think. But then a lot of people also complained, oh, it's too expensive, it's too expensive, it's too expensive. So expense is relative. North Legon, where those houses were situated, I would say that part of the journey to get to those properties was a little bit bumpy. It wasn't outrageous, like, oh my gosh, I can't deal with this. Like, if it rains, I'm going to be trapped in my house. It wasn't like that at all. But it was a little bit bumpy. You know, roads come, but they come after time. They don't necessarily come straight away. And if you want to buy a house that already has a road that's perfectly done, it's tarred and it's beautiful, it's so smooth to drive on, you're going to pay for that in the price that you're paying for that house, okay? Whether the developer had anything to do with laying down that tarmac or not, you are going to pay for the cost of that. So you really need to weigh up what you can and cannot afford and be realistic about that, okay? So by no means does it mean that if you want to live in central Accra that you have to buy a house for $400,000. It does not mean that. It may mean that you need to go out just a little bit in order to get what you want, but it may not be in your perfect neighborhood, that's all. There are other really nice areas. You have Ashia, you have Adenta, that kind of side. That's also like becoming really, really nice. There are a lot of restaurants opening up there, you know, so don't feel discouraged by my last video, you know, talking about these house prices and how expensive certain places are. There are places dotted around that are just premium. I mean, if you're going to go to, if you want to live in Airport Hills, you're not going to get a house, you know, for $300,000. You know, it's very, very rare that you're going to get something like that because it's just a premium area, okay? But whereas if you go to somewhere like Adenta, a Chalet Boutre, you know, you're going to get something that's going to be probably a bit more in your price range. If you don't move quickly, those prices are only going to go up. That's just how it's going to happen. It's just going to keep going up and up and up. So I think, please do not be discouraged by the video. I really, really don't want that. You can come here and you can find what you want, or alternatively, you can build what you want. That is an alternative, okay? Just buy your land, even if it means you're going to buy premium land somewhere where it's closer to central Accra as possible, and consider the fact of building over a period of years. If you're not ready to come now, maybe now you can invest in buying the land. So you buy the land and just wall it for sure, wall it. Maybe if you can even put something very small on it to secure the land. You can have just a small shack on there where perhaps maybe you can get someone to stay in there to make sure that no one can impose on your land and you don't get any problems. And then you can build over time. So if you think, okay, you know what, I'm not going to be ready to come to Ghana for like another 5 years, you can use those 5 years to build your house slowly as you want, okay? I always say to people, don't feel that, you know, you need to build the perfect home straight away, okay? You can always extend your home. Even Ghana itself builds homes and they call them expandable homes because it's the basic home, and later on, if you want to add another bedroom, if you want to add something else to the home, you can build that. And I think that's probably a concept that we need to get hold of a bit more and a bit more quickly, okay? So you can start by having a plot of land and you can build a 2-bedroom, a simple small 2-bedroom to start with, and that can be okay for you. And over time, you can add a bit more, add a bit more, add a bit more until you have exactly what you want, okay? No one says that, you know what, you've got to build the whole thing at once. I mean, take my own house, for example. It was only a small little section of my parents' land that we've used, and it was for the boys' quarters, and we've got this now, you know? So do not be discouraged. There is always a way around it. You just have to figure out what works for you, okay? So I would definitely encourage you, if you have the money to invest in land right now, I would say buy the land, wall it, whatever you need to do, secure it, and then take your time to build. If buying a house for you is not great, builds, because then you can have the swimming pool that you guys were shouting about. You can have your swimming pool, you can have a gym, you can have a sauna, you can have whatever you want in there. It's amazing what you can do. I mean, I will give you another example. The video that I did at Lagon City Lofts, that house was absolutely amazing. I loved that house so much. It had so much greenery. It just looked absolutely beautiful. Like, I had nothing to complain about. And I would say that those houses that were built, I believe there's 4 of them on there. I believe that was probably about 2 plots of land. And the way that the houses had been designed, it was just so seamless. It was so seamless. I mean, if you've got 4 friends, 3 friends, whatever, you can buy 1 plot together and you can each build in such a way that you have your own space, but you still have a kind of community living. I actually really like the idea of community living. I think it's a fantastic one. I think it's one that people should focus on a lot more. So, you know, you don't have, if you're not up for, you know, trying to do huge land banks with people, 10, 20 people, and, you know, you feel like the risk is too much, you can definitely go smaller and do it with, you know, your family and friends, just 1 plot of land, split it between the 3 of you, and build something where, you know, all your children can play outside. Those things are still possible. So even if you are buying land which is really expensive, by building yourself, you're cutting your costs right down and you're going to get exactly what you want. Okay, so please do not be discouraged. There are so many different options, and as I say, you don't have to be in central Accra. You can go a little bit further out. You may not have everything you want. Internet may be a little bit iffy. You know, you may have to travel into central Accra to get certain things, but you weigh up what works for you and all of that. Okay, so I will just say this, because some of you may have noticed that I have been talking about property quite a lot, right? And there is very good reason for that. Aside from the fact that I am building this house is being built, right? I'm actually going more into property now, okay? So this has been my dream for a little while. I feel so natural about doing it. I get really excited when I come across a property that is just so well done here. Like, it just really, really excites me. So you're definitely going to be seeing more like house tours from me, you know, properties for sale and all of that. But I'll give you more details soon enough. We won't talk about it too much there, but I just wanted to drop that in. If you were wondering the reason why I'm been talking about property so much, because I want to open up options for you guys so that you guys can see what is here, what is available, what you can afford, because definitely Ghana doesn't have to be one way, okay? Ghana is very big, and there are a range of different ways that you can live here, and it doesn't have to be the expensive way, okay? So I just really wanted to encourage you guys today. I hope you've been able to grab something out of that video. Yeah, so that is it, guys. That is the end of today's video. Please let me know what you think about what I've said in the comment section. I would love to hear your feedback, okay? If you haven't already subscribed, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button for me and the notification bell. Don't forget, like, comment and share this video. Until next time, I am out. Nuti Fafa.